Yo, what up, YouTube? I got a question from a user, and he wanted to know why um, so many chicks in his high school and now in college go around saying that they're not trying to impress any of the men here. I don't have to dress up. There's nobody here that catches my eye. And he wanted to know why they do it in the way that they do it. And I understand what he's talking about. You guys remember when you were in high school or in college and the women will come on and make that statement, and they could easily keep it to themselves or share it with their friends in a private setting. But it seems like they go out of their way to make sure that the dudes around them hear it. Okay? And, I definitely understand where you're coming from. And at first, I want to apologize. He had asked me this question a while ago, and I kind of forgot about it. And it didn't really come. I remembered, his question based off of a conversation I had over the weekend. So I would like to apologize to him. But it's nothing new. What it is a reverse psychology tactic, and it's the same thing as you get older. So as you get older, you will hear women do the same thing, but instead of saying, I'm not trying to impress anybody, they're going to say, I'm just focused on my career, I'm trying to do me, what else, I'm not into black men, or I'm more open. What else do I hear? And that's pretty much it. There's some other terminology or phrases that they use, but the whole overlying tone is that they want to use reverse psychology on you. They're trying to get you to step up to the plate. So in your case, if they're running around saying, I'm not trying to impress anybody here, and they're doing it in a manner to which they want the guys to hear it, what they're trying to say is, I want a man to come through and change my perspective. Okay? And the problem with it's an indirect statement in terms of their preference for black men. Okay? And a lot of us, we just deal with it, but we're reaching the point where we're tired of it. Contrary to what a lot of black women want to feel, they are still our first choice. Okay? But no one has time to read between the lines and really dig deep, whereas opposed to other non-black women are a little bit more direct in terms of their liking. So it's not even just about, I like black men, it's more so you in the corner, right? I like that dude with the backpack on, like that actual person. And I'm speaking of a college setting. I'm not talking about in the general population, because I don't necessarily know how things are. I'm just talking about in a college setting. Based on my experiences, a lot of the non-black women were way more direct in their preference. So you didn't have to worry about, is she feeling me, right? You didn't have to worry about comments where they're saying, I'm not trying to impress anybody here, because sometimes you never know. Maybe they're telling the truth, maybe they're not. So you never had to deal with it. So, it does get annoying. It really does. Because, like I said, I don't want to say it's a cry for help, but it's just more so a tactic to try to say, hey, can somebody step up to the plate, as opposed to just being normal and average. And where does it come from? For me, it comes from the mental brainwashing. You have to understand that a lot of most black women are growing up, and they grow up under this assumption that black men aren't good enough, and your biggest threat in terms of your happiness is another black man. It's weird because they feel like we are rejecting them from relationships, but then they grow up feeling that we are the biggest threat to their own happiness. It's like a love-hate relationship. So, and all their role models and the bitter black women in their lives brainwash them to think this way, and they don't even know it. Or even if that, they buy into it and they don't really want to think for themselves. So they resort to these reverse psychology methods simply because they can't clearly state their desire for black men. It's as simple as saying, hey, how you doing? I'm available. What's your name? Yada. It's very simple. But a lot of the pride and a lot of their brainwashing does not allow them to simply be themselves. right? And a lot of the times they can't see their behavior. I wish, we can set up hidden cameras so they can actually see themselves, right? How can you desire a certain type of dude, but physically act as if you don't want him, and you expect him to break through it? You expect him to read between the lines, and that's all it is. So I know you're a younger person, and my advice to you is don't deal with it, right? I made the mistake of trying to deal with it in the past, and you never know, because even if she's hiding her preference for black men, or she's just not being forthcoming, you never know if it's you per se, right? You yourself don't represent all of black men. There's different variations. And I'm not trying to encourage you to go out and date interracially, but all I'm saying is you need to be open to people who will clearly state their preference for you as a person, not just as a black man, but just you as a person, personally. Okay? Now, what does that mean? Personally, I think you'll probably get that sort of treatment more from non-black women, and you will probably get, the whole reverse psychology with a lot of the black women. But nevertheless, you have to do what you have to do, because it's too much time is wasted. Okay, we're at a point now where a lot of the women don't want to even think about how they've been trained to think. Okay, it's really unfortunate, because you're going to grow up in a couple of years and get to my side, and these same women that you see that are saying, I'm just trying to do school, or, I'm attracted to non-black men, or, there's no one here that I want to impress. These are the same women that will turn around and say that nobody tried to get at them, that nobody wanted to holler. They will literally forget that they were the ones that were publicly stating, keep in mind this is public, that the dudes here weren't on their level. And like I said before, it's very unfortunate and it's annoying, because you get the sense that most of these women are lying. Not to say that some don't actually feel that way, but you get the overall impression that the majority are lying, and they're trying to, trick you into stepping up to the plate. But if you're not going to be direct, there's nothing you can do. Okay, there really isn't. Your time is too precious, and you're studying, you have everything that you need to do, and you really don't have time to engage in such behavior. It's a flaw. It's not how women are. It's not a characteristic of how women are. I understand women are women, but this is a cultural flaw. Let's be real. It isn't a personality trait, and you really can't put too much time into it. Really, you can't. These women have to unlearn what they have learned and understand that you can't go around saying that you don't really care, that, these men aren't worth it, and then secretly want these men. Because we as black men aren't doing that. We're not going around saying there's no good black women around, you step up to the plate. Right? If you're there, you will be approached. That's our mentality. Okay? So you take it easy. Once again, I apologize for not doing this video a while ago. It kind of slipped my mind. So, and for the rest of you guys, chime in. You guys know the drill. Take it easy. God bless.